Good morning, students, or afternoon, or whatever time it is. What does time even mean? This is Miss Galt, and I'm looking at 2019 number 6, which is traditionally, if this were a real traditional AP test, number 6 is the one that's about infinite series. So this is the question about infinite series from last year. I feel certain that you will be asked on your AP test to write a Taylor polynomial. So just a reminder about how to do that. The format for a Taylor polynomial is it is going to be the nth derivative evaluated at wherever your center is, divided by n factorial. That's how you get the coefficient. Keep in mind that this is not a function. Once you plug in c, that's a number. So it's the nth derivative evaluated at the center divided by n factorial. And then it's x minus the center, so you're doing a shift of that polynomial to the nth power. It's the nth power, it's the nth derivative, and it's n factorial. And so a Taylor series looks like this. We start at the 0th derivative, so we start at the function itself, and that's the formula for a Taylor polynomial. I fully expect you to have to do a Taylor polynomial on your test for the College Board. Okay, so we're going to write a third-degree Taylor polynomial for f centered at x equals 0. Now you know that if it's centered at x equals 0, it actually could be called a Maclaurin series. Centered at 0 is means Maclaurin, or Maclaurin means centered at 0. So in our formula here, we know that c is going to equal 0. Everywhere we see a c, we'll use a 0 because we're centered at 0. So we need to take the derivatives, and if we're doing a third degree, that means we need to go out to the third derivative. So first, we need f of 0. That's not a derivative, but that's how we get the constant coefficient. Looking at the graph, f of 0 is 3. I can just read the y-coordinate off the graph. F prime of 0, well, I don't have that information. I have information about derivatives higher than 1, but I don't have the derivative information in the table, but I can actually read it off the graph. I see that the graph intersects at 3, which I already talked about, but it has a slope, which I can read off the graph, of -2 over 1. So our first derivative is -2. We also need a second derivative evaluated at 0, and we know that that is 3 from the table of values they gave us here. And if we're doing a third degree, we also need a third derivative centered at 0, so that's going to be -23 over 2, and that's from the table as well. Okay, now we're going to fill that in. So we're writing our third degree polynomial, so the constant term would be 3. The linear term is going to be -2 times x to the 1. Notice how I divide by n factorial for both of those, but n factorial is 1 when n is equal to 0 and when n is equal to 1, so I don't need to show that. The second derivative is 3, so the next term will be 3 divided by 2 factorial, which is just 2, and times x squared. And then the last term for a third degree would be -23 over 2 times 6, because we have 3 factorial. You can stop right there as long as it's very clear that that's a 2 times 6. You could also turn this into a 12 because 2 times 6 is 12. Remember, you don't have to do arithmetic for the College Board. Okay. So that's part A of number 6. So I want to point out that the scoring guidelines for number 6A was worth 2 points. 1 point was for having 2 correct terms, any 2 terms correct. And the other point is for having the rest of it correct. I want to point out that they don't exactly give you partial credit. They do give you partial credit, but they give it in a very specific way. So for example, if you didn't know how to start this problem, but you wrote down some BS, you wouldn't get either of those 2 points because you would need to have 2 correct terms to get the first partial credit point.